and gentlemen, welcome back to the workshop. Fantastic to have you here. As ever, today is part 2 of working on the FALCHION sword. It is a pleasure, as always, to have you here. Let's get right into it, because I am reforging it because I wanted to do a better job on the shape of it than we did on round 1, attempt number 1. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoy. Here we are, it has been spheroidized, which means it's now soft as can be, ready for us to start grinding on it. We did some very nice normalizing cycles. Of course, just like in the last episode, we then quenched it. We saw this beautiful gray, so typical of martensite again. So that was good before we went in. At a lower temperature, below magnetic. We tried to hold it as long as we could there. And here we go. This is 1,010,000 times better than my last attempt. Oh my goodness. I'm just so pleased that I started again, because now it means that, okay, we don't have to make something that is already, right off the bat, not what we intended. That's not the point. The point is to make what we intend. And so, as we sit it down here, we have everything that we need. We've got plenty of material to be able to cut into here for our tang, which is going to get us the length that we need. Now again, this wants to have a nice short handle to cinch your hand in there. And we are well above the width of the blade, especially where it counts, right here in this belly and right up there. So now all we're gonna do is we're gonna take this chalk here, we're gonna mark out the key points and try and follow that line the way that it's meant to. There we go. This will help us see where on the spine we need to remove the material the most. The spine is meant to be pretty damn straight, it would appear. Bring that line up to the tip. We're gonna need to work to the inside of the chalk on that spine area. You'll remember in yesterday's episode I said we were gonna do a recurve on the edge side. It's going to be so slight that we're not even going to take it into account when we do our first little bit of profiling. So we'll scrub another chalk line along the ruler like that. That'll give us something nice to work to. We know that on the spine and edge we're working to the inside of the line. We know that here we're working roughly to the outside of the line. We'll leave plenty of extra material in here as we come into that tang, but we will hack away a little bit. So, you know, we kind of want to leave it nice and proud there. And this will get us very close to being bang on the money of the profile of our intended design. And so, are you ready, Alex?
Yeah, no problem at all.
This is your job now.
Love it.
Then we'll reconvene, and then we'll start getting that scale off of there and getting those bevels how we need them.
Awesome.
Sound good?
Yeah, look forward to it.
So while he is sorting the rest of the profile out, what I need to do is I need to come up with our guard, and the rest of the hilt need to come up for the full design of that. So I'm going to work on the guard area and just do a little bit of sketching and work out what the guard should look like. It's simple, based off of the Cluny Falchion in the Cluny Museum. Simple lines, bends around like so, comes in towards the end. We're gonna wanna make sure that we have a flat spot here, and I think we should be able to easily enough forge this guard. That's probably a little too large. Let's see how she's looking. Ooh, very nice. Good work, Alex. That means that now we have that profile dialed in just nicely. Okay, so now that we got the profile in, next step for you is to grind down through the scale and basically start roughing in our grinds. Try and be careful not to, bend it as you grind it, and try and keep it all straight and grind it into straight. Yep. And that should be rather nice. And then I'll be able to take it from there.
Yep, lovely.
So in order to make this guard, I want to make a punch that is shaped to the rough cross-section of the blade, so that looking straight at the guard, we have a slot that looks like the blade. I think that would be cool. I believe that is also a technique that was used historically, and it's something that I have been wanting to learn and practice before. So that means we've got to make one of these things. We're basically just going to make a punch that we can punch in from the top side of the guard, and we're going to make this out of some steel that's in the forge right now. That is some 30mm 4340 steel. We're going to break it down, make ourselves the cross-section of the blade. Let's see if I still got it. Woo! Little cut to the center. Now we're going to forge it out under these fullers, spread it out sideways. So you've been making great progress in the grinding room. How did that go?
It went pretty well. I had to only switch out belts once, and it cut sharp, and I think, yeah, went quite well.
The long and short of it is that now I'm going to suit up as well, and then I'm going to run in there, and I'm going to get this thing about how I like it. Thank you for doing an awesome job on that. We're going to bring this down some more. We've got a lot of stock removal to do, so we're going to get back in there. Sorry. After all this hard work, I throw it into the vise. Anyway, to the grinding room. Alrighty, we have done some good grinding on there, and this thing is now light. This is my understanding of how a falchion should be. It is going to be a slashing weapon, and there is still plenty of weight to take off there. So now, as we get ready to talk about the Hormone, you reckon that's the right pronunciation?
Yeah, Hormone.
I've heard Hammon.
No,
is it not Hammon?
No, it's Japanese.
Hammon. No, ham sandwich. Yeah, it is. You got to make sure there's some cheese in there. Get it? Because cheese. Yeah, it was cheese.
I got it.
Right. So. Hormones. The long and short of it is that we are going to find a way to have a hard edge and a soft and supple spine. That way, in the slashing activities of this, the bolo machete, or this, our falchion, even though it's 1095 steel, it's going to withstand the abuse, and a Hormone, it changes something in the look of the particular blade itself. What it does is it will give a different colorization where there is the soft steel and where there is the hard steel, even though it's one piece of steel. When we make Damascus, that's two different types of alloy. So when it's done, it's obvious that you're going to see a little bit of a difference when you etch it. Well, soft steel and hard steel are different structures, and they will reflect light in different ways, even when it's just polished. But when you put it in an acid, then they will really kind of, it looks very different. Even though it's one steel, you will get one bit that's lighter and one bit that's darker. And this is achieved by using a form of clay. They do this on katanas, and that wavy line on a katana, that's using a form of clay. So, how is it that we create soft steel and hard steel? My understanding is we slow down the cooling of the spine by insulating it.
Yep. That's right, yeah.
So there's a great tutorial by Niels Vandenberg from South Africa, Black Dragon Forge. Awesome guy. Met him at Blade Show. He's the best. Anyway, he's got a great video on how to apply a Hormone, ham sandwich. And we're going to be following his instructions. We have this authentic Japanese gun gum, which is authentic Japanese,
this
traditional.
Is what they used back in the day.
Absolutely. We're going to peel off this traditional plastic surface wrapping of the gun gum. We're going to clamp this up, and then this is the funny part, the cool part. We take some wire, and now we are going to try and neatly and evenly wrap this up the blade. And the point of this wire is to help secure the traditional Japanese gun gum in place. I will mention, so it's completely clear, this is not the final falchion. This is the first one that we made that was a mistake, so this is a test piece. Remember that. This is not the final one. We've got it all the way wrapped up. I'm gonna tighten this up here. There we go. Right, and so now, apparently it's as simple as just lathering this stuff on there. Yeah, it looks beautiful. Oh, wow. Great, so now I think we flip it over, do the same on the other side.
Right.
That took you way less time than it took me.
Maybe.
I'm quite certain we haven't let it dry enough. We have put the blade up kind of on the edge of this forge here so it was warm, trying to get it to dry. This is how it is right now. Still a little squidgy and all puffed up, but I'm impatient, so we're gonna go for it. We are gonna get it in the forge, heat it up, go into the quench, and then see if this hormone actually worked. So without further ado, into the fire we go, and we're gonna do a little tandem heating here. Oh, uh-oh, it all just puffed right up. That doesn't look very good. Holy moly, look at that. Should we do it anyway?
Yeah.
I probably should have made a dramatic noise. And into the quench we go! Woo! That's a warp.
Yeah.
Yep, that's still warped. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's not working. Maybe it's, oh no, that's not working. Oh, still twisted. Oh boy. I'm probably on the precipice of breaking it.
Yeah.
Look at that. Hey, look at that. I think that actually helped a good deal. Look down there. Wow! That thing is straight as a whistle. Okay, let's lock it up and let it cool. Off with the wire. So what Alex has just suggested we do is we take a file and we see if there's a difference in the cut. So, if this has worked, the spine where we had the collet is obviously soft material, the edge is hard. You can do the honors. I think we would call that very soft.
Yeah, that's cutting. Look at this. Do it in one spot. That's cutting all right.
And how about the edge? Woo!
That's hard. That's
okay,
hard as glass.
so what we know is there is a soft spine and a hard edge. And the delineation is super clear. So this might well have just worked. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna grind this so that we can see the temper colors, and we're gonna quickly temper it so it doesn't just crack straight away. So I'm gonna do that in here. Wow, it doesn't even touch the hardened side. That is all that happened when I touched it. It just glazed over. There we go, that cut. Fresh belt was all the difference. Oh my goodness, we could see it. There is a hormone. Whoa, there is a hormone. Hormoly, roly poly. You can see something. I don't know if you can see it, but we can see something. So what we're now gonna do is we're just gonna do like a super simple snap temper. Basically we're just gonna heat it with the residual heat in the forge going back and forth until we get a dark straw at the edge. And then we'll see if we can get that nice and even across the whole thing. You know, make sure to get enough heat in here. When we do the final thing, we will temper it in the forge with the heat sink plates. And then we'll be able to get a much more even and longer duration temper to make sure that, you know, the final one is better. This we just want to then be able to see if the hormone is there. Got a nice splotchy little dirty temper. That should mean that we take out that excess hardness that was making grinding it a nightmare. Here's the dirty temper. You can see how easy it is to overheat it, that thin edge there. But now what we're gonna do is we're gonna grind it, and we're gonna bring up a little section, maybe this midsection here, to a higher grit. Then we're gonna hand sand it, and we'll probably then be able to see the hormone if it's there. If not, we're gonna see if acid is what we need to do. But either way, it's time for some grinding, and then we'll see if this technique has worked. Sneak peek time. How's it look? Oh my goodness! Look at that! That is so cool! Look at that wavy line. It went wavy. Center screen right now, you can see the waves. We're gonna neutralize it in some baking soda water so you can see we have that wavy edge of the Hormone. That means that we can use this technique to get it to work. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I'd love it if you would subscribe if you're new. I'd also love it if you would go grab yourself the limited edition million subscriber merchandise at the website alecsteelshop.com. It's got all of the things that we have made to get to 1 million subscribers here on the YouTube channel. It's a great way to support the show, and I think it looks kind of awesome. We've also got phone cases and posters and hoodies and that type of stuff. Thank you very much for watching. Gonna see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.